Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where yes, we're back today again with more iRacing. If you missed out on the video that went live a couple of days ago from the Porsche Cup car, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. But today we are doing my first race in the all-new Gen 3 Australian Supercars here from Brands Hatch. Yes, it's a bit of a weird combo, but this race ended up being a whole lot of fun, quite a lot of drama, and just, you know, it's a race of trying to survive. Of course, if you're new around here and you aren't already, please do make sure you get yourself subscribed. If you haven't given iRacing a go yet and you want to try it out for yourself, there'll be a link down in the description below where you can help support the channel as well. But yeah, let's head then down onto the circuit. I'm looking forward to this. Right, well, here we go then. Ready, 33 laps ahead of us here from Brands Hatch. I've got no idea how to launch this car.
Get ready, time to focus. For it.
So I'm going to try and avoid getting too much wheel spin. Guy in front of me hasn't done a particularly good job of that. So we will immediately get mugged by another guy there who clearly has launched this thing before. As mentioned, I'm a little bit late to the party with these cars, so everybody I'm sure has learnt the basics already. I'm just here trying to figure it all out, chucking myself in at the deep end, as always, because why wouldn't I, here on iRacing. Oh, that's not good, a little bit of bumping and bashing just in front. I'm still wheel to wheel with the Sunny D car. It's pretty much been side by side since the get-go. Try and chuck the car in through the hairpin. I think he's going to have me there. Oh, I give him a little bit of a shove. I do apologise, that was not my intent. And if we were going to get a run, I would have backed out of it down this next straight there, because I'm not going to go for the bump and runs on people. At least not on lap one, anyway. We'll wait and see as to how things go on as the race plans out. But yeah, a lot of Fords in this race. In fact, I don't think I've seen the Camaro yet in this field. So everybody believing in the Mustang, it would appear. I don't know whether... I haven't read anywhere that the Mustang is quicker or anything like that. I don't believe it's got an advantage, but you never know. iRacing can do fun things at the best of times. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to hopefully doing a few races in this series. Luckily it works quite well for me. The Wednesday mornings are definitely prime time, it would appear. I think we had about 40 odd sign-ups ready for this one, so... It's always nice to see as well. As well, trying to chuck it in through turn one. Really does feel odd to leave it up in fourth gear through there, but it is the way to go early on. But yeah, looked like we found ourselves in a bit of a pace window. Maybe not quite as quick as those guys in front, but a little bit quicker than the guys behind. Yeah, down to P11 then by the end of lap one. So I think we need a P9 finish if I want to gain some iRating here. Of course, we are getting very close to the 2K mark, so you know, even if we just crawl a few higher towards it, then I would be happy. Listen to that, this V8 absolutely rumbling along, sounds so good in these cars. It really sounds good as well on the off-board shots as well around here, so yeah, I'm liking that. Sort of someone going for a trip through the gravel. That was one of the many shames in this race. You can tell it's an Aussie server based on the fact that pretty much everybody here is apparently called Shane, I would believe. Just get that little wash of understeer there. This car doesn't handle too badly in the dirty air, but it's certainly far from perfect as well. So as we try and chuck it through the final couple of corners. I mean, I want to try and keep up with these two just in front of me. There's a lot of guys that are much quicker around here, so you know, I want to have a race with at least a couple of people if possible. Loaded up with fuel obviously early on. We shouldn't see a pit stop or anything like that, I don't believe, while in this race. I could be mistaken though. I don't believe you ever had to pit inside this series, but I could be wrong. It's normally more about looking after the tyres, so avoiding sliding around too much and things like that is, you know, gonna, you know, maybe a little bit of sacrifice early on, but you'll benefit much more in the long term in these races. I'll just double check the fuel. Oh yeah, no, we are definitely going to have to pit, sorry. So we're going to have to pit with a few laps left then of this one, so I have forgot that there is a mandatory pit stop inside this series, unless you can be really economical and somehow eke out an extra 7 laps out of the car, which I'd be quite impressed. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that in this race. We're just focusing on staying out of trouble, not trying to look for anything too crazy, as yeah, there's definitely a bunch of cars just up in front, but I'm not really worried about battling with other people early on. I just want to settle down and get into a rhythm, because these things, you know, you overheat the tyres, you get one huge bit of wheel spin, and it can easily leave you with 2, 3, 4 laps of pain as you just try and bring the car back in to its operating window as well. I'm going to try third gear through turn 1. It does just give you a little bit more front end, but it does compromise your exit just a little bit there. But yeah, I'm quite pleasantly surprised by the pace we're seeing from a lot of people here. Guys with not much more iRacing than me. I mean, a lot of them obviously will be Australian, so they'll have been driving this car since they were old enough to reach the pedals. Because who doesn't love an Australian supercar? Nice that they brought it here to Silverstone this weekend. Of course, where I've been on holiday recently, and they brought it home for me anyway. They sound so good. Maybe they sound better than the old car. I'm not going to be too controversial and say with any kind of definition. But yeah, they do always sound good. These proper raw V8 cars really slide them around as well. Easy. Don't nick the grass. Yeah, we definitely haven't quite got the pace to match those guys in front, so we're going to try and settle into our rhythm and defend from Jason behind. Yeah, the fuel usage actually is coming down a lot, so I mean, I'd be very, very impressed if we could stretch it out. I think the fuel calculations are based on my fuel usage anyway, so it should come down fairly laterally, but maybe third gear is the way to go through turn 1 when you're heavy on fuel. It's just through turn 2 I'm really struggling. It's so easy to pinch the fronts, so try and load them up the hill. Probably the most difficult corner on the lap I'm finding at the moment. A lot of them you've just got to be really gentle and kind of wind up the car on the exit. So just struggling to find an apex through there. Dancing on the limit of grip as you try to get the power down. It is so fun. So challenging, but so fun. And if I thought the Porsche Cup race I did a few days ago was chucking myself back into the deep end, it is like child's play relative to these things. They are loud, they are brash. Again, no ABS, no traction control. But just the way they slide around, you've got a lot more power underneath your right foot. And it's just about trying to tame that, keep it steady. You know, these things, I would assume they've got a little bit more aero on the Porsche Cup car. But when you weigh that up in comparison to the power and the weight, it definitely is not as kind of grounded as that Porsche Cup car might be. But it is probably one of the best similar examples I can give on the sim.
That's your quickest lap in this session.
So we're into the 1:29, so well, I'm happy with that. That was not what I wanted to do though, through turn 1. So you're right to the decompression there, just making a little bit of an error. So what I'll probably do is, unless it looks like we could stretch the fuel, which I don't think we will, I will look to just pit at probably just gone half distance, unless we're in a battle or something like that. Because obviously, you're not really fuel limited in these cars, you're just tyre limited. So the tyres will go before the fuel does, in almost any scenario. So yeah, I'm just going to have to be careful with that, you know, already trying to think a bit longer term. I could crash definitely before then though. There's every possibility in this race. Again, just trying to get that power down, just learning where the limits are. Say I've not done a single race in this car prior to now. Obviously did that little tester video around Thruxton actually a few days ago, so apparently I can only take this car to British circuits, which is quite funny. But yeah, I had a lot of fun chucking it around there as well. And I want to try and do as many races in this series as I can. Get my money's worth out of this car.
129.8.
I feel like my pace isn't bad particularly, it's just not as good as a lot of other people here. There's a lot of people that obviously will be racing this religiously throughout this season. You know, will get up to speed quite quickly, and I think always on iRacing as well, the Australian community, especially in these kind of cars, is fairly tight-knit. You know, you're racing the same guys most weeks. I'm sure this first season with a new car, you're going to get a lot of fresh faces and things, but yeah, you're always going to find yourself racing similar people week in, week out. Obviously, as long as you're racing at about the same times, then maybe we'll make some friends as the season goes on. Someone did actually recognise me pre-race. I think it was Jacob who's actually leading this. So I don't know if he's got a setup. I don't know whether he's watching, but give me some setups, please, sir, because you are absolutely flying along in this thing at the moment. It seems like the pace is just about beginning to neutralise relative to those guys in front. So I always forget to bring it down into the right gear. So I'm just kind of hoping that maybe by being sensible, by staying out of that group, hopefully we've looked after the tyres a little bit better. Dirty air is not really a thing. These cars are shaped like a brick, so, you know. Just slide it in. Weird thing is as well with these cars is the short shift doesn't really work very well, because you're just met with more wheel spin. You've really got to try and let it kind of run out through its gears, which is quite fun as well. It adds a, you know, it's not like you can kind of shortcut the wheel spin. You've just got to deal with it head on. Or spin. One or the other. Yeah, that time we were still a little bit slower than those guys in front. Just need them to start battling a bit more, I think. And hopefully then we can try and get right back in it. But again, I just want to see the checkered flag. That's the main goal. Ugh. Actually, I don't think you take tyres in this, would you? I think tyres would take too long. So we are just fuel limited then in this race. I kind of forgot about that. So, yeah, it's probably better just to try and stay out there as long as we possibly can then. Trying to remember all the ins and outs of this series.
Now 1.3.
Yeah, we seem to have a little bit, though, over Jason behind, which I guess is good. Ooh, big puff of smoke. There's definitely some battles going on up there. That's what I want to see. A bit more of that, please, gents. Ugh. Don't get too ambitious, though, Matt. Got to keep it on the island if you want to get up to them. Gearing definitely seems to be... There's a couple of places around here where you kind of feel like you're stuck between gears. Overall, I'd say it's a pretty good combo, actually. It's quite similar to a couple of the circuits they probably race at in the Supercars series. I know they do quite a few street tracks as well, but... I don't know if I've missed Bathurst this season or not. But I definitely want to give that a go. It was one of the last races I did of 2024 even, I should say. Wide there again. Come on. Don't get too sloppy. I mean, we could pit anywhere from now to get to the end. I'm not going to, but...
The gap to done behind is now 1.6 seconds.
Don't do that too many times. Another big puff of smoke though up in front. They're definitely starting to get the elbows out a bit more. And so far this race hasn't been anywhere near as crazy as that Porsche Cup one we did. At least not for me. That train of cars in front battling it out looks very, very entertaining.
Good consistency. Keep them coming. There's an incident in Paddock Hill. You think it might be Williams?
Oh, it's behind. Someone behind me's made an error. Take a look at that in the incident report when we get to the end of the race. Oh, I'd never realised as well that it's actually on the dash, got the gap to the car in front and behind. That's quite cool. It's hidden behind my race labs, but it's a nice little welcome addition. I mean, I know we're a long way out from it, but I definitely want to try and compete in the 1000 this year. Last lap then we were... Oh no, we're not. We're going to be way down on those guys again. I saw they were down in the 30s. But we are... I mean, we just snuck into the 29s again. But yeah, definitely our battle still is with Jason behind, who is just hanging about a second behind. A bit odd that obviously both of us seem to be in a pace gap, a bit too slow for all the guys in front. A bit too fast for all the guys behind. But at least we've got each other, I suppose. You know, got to look at the positives and all that. See, it's nice when you get that hook up. When it really launches off the corner smoothly. I keep finding that I think this car's narrower than it is. I don't know why. Really odd. I keep finding them just nicking the grass in a lot of places. Leader? Doing a 28.7? That's a good lap. I think my fastest in practice was like a 29.0, and that was on low fuel.
Your lap time was 1:29.8.
Jason, I think, is just starting to find a little bit more. It's a good lap time by him last time round. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do.
12 is gaining on you. The gap's now.
Too busy looking at his lap time rather than where I should be going. Things are going to get more and more dramatic here. guess the good thing is, unless you absolutely turn the front tyres into 50 pence pieces, they don't wear out too badly. It is all just, rather unsurprisingly, the rears that take an absolute pounding around here. Oh, no second off track of the day. That's a shame. I was hoping we could try and keep the instant count nice and low on this one. Gain back some SR that I lost last time. Oh, there we go. First one into the pits. So they're going to be back into the top 10.
P10.
So difficult to get it hooked up into that hairpin. No, that was not ideal. Oh, just went down the wrong gear.
Gone out of track limits. Keep it between the lines.
Come on, just gather it up. That was really
Car in
stupid.
front is done. Car number 14, B license, and their rating is 1.7.
Oh, well, we've survived it, but yeah, just pinging it down one too many gears. That was really not sensible there.
There's an incident in
Just
13,
immediately.
Looks like it's road.
I think that someone behind is having issues as well. Too sure what's going on there, but again, I'm sure we'll see it on the incident report at the end, but that was really scary. Luckily, one of the only corners on this lap where you got a fair amount of runoff. But let's go back in pursuit of Jason again. Come on. I'd be intrigued to know now he's got the clear air, whether he's going to have a bit more pace in that car or not. Definitely getting a few more cars into the pit lane though. Right, we're going to have to do some lap time watching, seeing what times he's doing, seeing what times we're doing. See if we've got the pace to get back to him. I thought we got a 1x for that then. I was going to say. Anyway, inside track limits.
Gap to P9. Ahead is now 4.2 seconds.
Ugh. Trying to drift it with one hand is not ideal. It's not the way to go.
Okay, car number 7 is leading the race.
There definitely seems to be a battle going on for the lead as well. We almost set our new personal best of the day. We took a 10th out of Jason that time round. So that's good. Oh no, that's not. Slide it through. Don't try to brake too much, don't try to throttle it. Come on, we've got to be better than this. Few too many little mistakes just creeping in. Well, I think the guy that pit a bit earlier is just trying to get the undercut on everybody else, so interested to see how that works out for him. Where am I going? Come on. Oh. Thing is, I know I've got the pace to get back to Jason if I keep it consistent. But being consistent in this car is no easy feat.
You've just done a 130.5.
No! No! Come on. 4th off track. We're just making way too many errors. Way too many errors at the moment. Could I change the rear tyres and pit now? Could that work? I'm going to try that, I think. And try and mix things up a bit in this race. I'll set when I get to the next straight. I think the front should be absolutely fine to the end, but yeah, those rears are just starting to go a bit too much on me. I don't know how much time we'll lose from it, but I'm going to take the gamble.
Williams is reeling you in. The gap's now 2.8 seconds.
Just a few too many little errors sneaking in over these last few laps, and those just little bits of time really do cost you. They really do add up. Have to do it, I think, when we get into the pit lane, but yeah, we're seeing more cars in, which is good. Gonna be nice
Pit
and
lane
easy.
speed
Oh,
limit is 45
thought I had my
miles
limiter
per
on
hour.
already. Right, so we'll go replace just the rear two. We might have lost a bit of time on pit lane entry as well.
82%. Rear left, 73.
So yeah, I mean the fronts weren't taking much less wear, sorry, than the rears, but needed to be done, I think, as we'll have a full tank of fuel back in. I don't know if we've jumped anywhere there. I don't think we have.
There's traffic on the exit. Keep it tight. P12. You're halfway home. Your fuel is fine.
So we've only lost
rear tyres are
one
cold.
position. Cold rear tyres though. I'm sure we're going to put some heat into those pretty quickly.
3, and their rating is 2.5.
I don't even know whether that's more effective than just putting all 4 on. Like, I've genuinely got no idea. Come on, man. We've got 15 more laps. Yeah, the rights are absolutely fine. It's only the left tyres that are really taking a beating here, but kind of just got to deal with that. So I think they put 2 tyres on a go in these cars. Obviously fronts or rears. Ugh. Well, hopefully we're going to get back to P11 at the least. There we go. What is the gap though to Jason? 12 seconds. Oh no, it's someone else. Oh, well, Jason's gone, I think. No idea what's happened to him then. But we're going to get P10 back, I think. Because I don't believe Jamie's pit yet. Actually, I don't know. I've got no idea what's going on. We'll only really know once we get sort of past about lap 26, I think. I mean, it's so easy just to make one error here and you'll find a wall. And that'll be your day over. So we have got to be so careful of it. Others giving us that reminder. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Yeah, this is definitely the kind of car I like driving though on iRacing. Because you just know it'll give you skills that you can use everywhere. And that is really, really important. I'm going to bottle a new personal best, I think. Oh, we might have just done it. Yeah, there you go.
That last lap was
Oh, it was identical to our previous ones. That's good going. But we are up into 10th then. I think Jamie has pit, because he's much, much quicker than me. So yeah, I think we've only just claimed the place back off Jason, but I think he's gone. So no idea what happened to him. But we'd only lose 5 iRacing if we were to finish here, and there might still be some chaos towards the end, so... It's not been the most dramatic race in the world. There has been a lot of fun up to this point. Still got 13 laps to go though. A lot can change.
Gap to Farmer behind is now 4.9.
Not much of a gap to the guy behind either at the moment. He's still looking pretty racy. We might end up going a lap down here. That'd be a bit sad. Perhaps that's our goal now. Try and stay on the lead lap between now and the end.
That lap was at 130.1.
Turn 1 is so scary because these things are so heavy. You just never know whether it's going to find the grip or not. You're just kind of launching it over the crest and just praying it finds something every single time. Ugh! I was lucky I spotted that early enough. Almost straight in the wall. Come on. Gotta stop making those little errors. Those little slip-ups will really cost us. And gap's the guy in front now, like 17 seconds. We're definitely not going to get to him by the end. Our battle is to try and stay on the lead lap.
The leader, McKay, is pitting.
Oh, okay. That makes life easier. Oh no, Jacob was right behind him still. I got no idea. I have no idea how Stratton is looking in this one.
Strickland, car number 6, is now in the lead.
Grandmother would have been quicker through there, but come on, we can do this. Ugh! We are definitely pushing this too much at the moment. Definitely trying to overdrive the car. It's just not working for us. That's the gravel on the outside there with all the new changes. That will absolutely upset you, as proven.
The leader, Strickland, is pitting. Barnes is getting closer. The gap's come down to 4.9 seconds. They're faster than us into clearways.
Making far too many errors, and we're allowing people that we shouldn't be allowing to get closer to us, giving them a chance. Yeah, the gap's back down to 50 seconds though, so I don't think we'll get lapped by the end of this.
Number 7 is now
Which is
leading.
good. But again, I could bin it. Just goes on you occasionally. You feel like you've found a rhythm in it again, and then it just goes, nope. Then again, it is so much fun because of it. Its willingness to just kill you at any moment is what makes these kind of race cars fun. It's what you're lacking from most modern race cars nowadays. It's so sad that it's kind of come away from this, but these kind of things are, well, they really do feel like the last just properly brutal race cars left in the world. Maybe NASCARs as well. I know they're pretty similar now to all one another. It's why, you know, it's such a shame that the Australian Supercar series, you know, these aren't Australian, they're both American cars. But it's all they can really do at this point. It just makes me sad.
Fastest lap for McKay, 127.9.
I love being able to try and hang these things right on the edge. Trying to is the key there. It's usually not working for me, but that's by the by.
Your lap time was at 129.8.
It's a bit better. Back to the 29s. Leaders at a 27.6. Oh, sorry, P2's at a 27.6. I mean, they're still very close at the front of the order. Their lap time's just getting faster and faster towards the end of this. Why aren't mine? We're at about 3/4 distance though, so we are getting there. We are surviving-ish.
2.7. He's faster than
That
you
guy
into
behind us goes
clearways.
so much faster. He's still at 28.9 last lap. We are going to be under a lot of pressure by the end. He's got a bit more eye rate to the meters pull.
The car ahead is Randall, car number 2, and their rating is 2.6.
So we are going to have to try and defend still towards the end of this one. He did a 28.4 last lap. Not sure how we're going to be able to defend from that for very long, but we're going to have to give it a whirl.
You've just done a 130.2.
I'm happy that this thing feels similar to the old Gen 2 Supercars as well. Like, I know obviously they've tried to fix a few of the bits and pieces that a lot of obviously the IRL drivers complain they handled nothing like the real cars, but I'm happy they kind of feel still, you know, there's still that DNA in there. If these things weren't a challenge to drive, they would be nowhere near as fun. I think that's, well, that and the fact they sound awesome as well are the main reasons why I still keep coming back to this series. But yeah, we have got a defensive drive on our hands towards the end of this. I think that's a Camaro. I've actually seen a Camaro today. So long enough.
P11 is ready to win. The gap's now 1.2.
That was a nice hook up out to the back straight. That's what we need to be doing a little bit more of. Still got 6 more laps that we need to defend.
Car number 3, and their rating is 2.5.
I think we're just going to have to make this car as wide as we can. Luckily, Brands Hatch isn't the easiest circuit to overtake on, unless you do that. Oh, that might open up the door for him.
All right.
Can't quite squeeze him.
Still there. Clear right.
Somehow we'll get the run off the corner anyway. That was a little bit nip and tuck. I wasn't trying to kind of pinch him or anything. Just trying to gather it up.
Johnston.
That's another car that's a lap down.
There's an incident in Surtees. Looks like it's Rayner and Meggie.
Come on. That was someone in front though that's had an incident. Not too sure what's gone on there. Again, the incident report will tell all, hopefully. Oh, come on. It's not where I want to be going.
Left.
No!
Left side, clear left.
That was scary. He's going to keep hold of it. Don't know whether we met in the middle or whether he kind of tried to move me or what that was, but that was scary. I thought that was going to be a race over there. But we will live to fight another day, somehow. Come on. Gotta see if I can keep up with him now. See if we can try and force the error the other way.
Car in front of us is Barnes. Car number
I think it's
5.
going to happen,
Their
but you
rating
never know.
is 2.4.
Come on, little Mustang.
B11.
We have got some lap traffic still. That could make things spicy. Wah. I've got to be close to him. Yeah, I'm really not sure kind of how that contact happened, to be honest. Whether we did meet in the middle or whether he tried to pinch me a bit too much or what. But again, we'll take a look at it on the replay. I don't even think we got an instant point for it, which is quite impressive. I hope this lap car maybe slows him down just a little bit.
Car
Ooh. Not fantastic positioning, but it's Brands Hatch. You couldn't do a lot else. Come on, little Mustang. Nice that we have had a bit of a battle towards the end of this one.
The gap in front is now 1.1 seconds.
As the fuel burns off, this thing really does get a bit quicker, doesn't it? I think it's possibly a bit of confidence as well, but... Come on, little car. There you go, we're finally going to set a new personal best again. What was that, 29.2 I think? Yeah, 29.2. Ooh. So again, back end just wants to slide out through turn 2. Come on, nose in.
The gap to Barnes ahead is increasing. It's now 1.8.
Ah! Oh, another 1x, that's annoying.
You cut the track. Keep it nice and tidy. Incident Druids. It looks like Farmer.
Oh. It's another lap car making an error. I think we're going to see a lot of those in our incident report.
Two laps remaining.
Come on, last 2 laps. Ooh, big lockup. I think. It's the problem with all the new gravel and stuff. It makes it look like someone's had a lockup and they're absolutely fine. It works really well in some aspects, but definitely needs tweaking. So on 8-second gap. Oh, it's Jason behind us again, so he's not out of this.
Sheen. You think it might
He
be
definitely did make a
Williams?
big error. Come on.
P11.
Gotta keep it pointing in a straight line. Well, one more lap to go then here from Brands Hatch, and what a race it has been. Really have enjoyed this one. It's been a proper workout though. But a lot of fun to come back to the Australian Supercars with the new generation. Don't feel like I've driven particularly brilliantly either. A few too many errors as the race has gone on, but you know, first time in a new car. I don't think we can complain too much. And again, when you're going up against the Australians, they are very, very fast in these things. Something happens with the lapped car here. He's just going to dive out of the way. Fair play to him. That's what he should be doing. I mean, we're P11, he's P14. There's not many of us left on the lead lap at this stage. I think behind me it very much did spread out. There's kind of a good battle going on in that group of cars that were just a bit quicker. Ooh, we got another Camaro though. Oh, that's a stupid 1X.
Stewards have warned us about track limits, keeping this big alive.
Through the final couple of corners though, sliding it around. I paid for the tyres, I'm going to use them. That's not the line there, sir. Didn't want to do that. But there we go. We're going to survive for P11 in the end. Happy with the fact we've just seen the checkered flag. That was the most important bit today. Good fun race here from Brands Hatch there as we'll try and not hit anyone after the finish line.
Okay,
you know what? We'll take it.
Well done,
I'll have a look at the incident report when we go through the incident report, but I'm happy that we've survived. Well, let's take a look then at our incident report from this race. It didn't take long before we already see some cars having some spins, and well, I love the student driver livery, and I gotta say it, maybe it was justified. Up next then, the number 16 car. I think this was the guy. Oh no, he's just had enough. I don't know what's gone on there. That one's really odd. I think we might have some issues trying to get all the incident report from this one, because we are on the Australian server. That is just horrible. Just nicked the end of the wall there, and that'll be some big damage as well. Sunny D car. That was the guy I was battling with early on. That was a bit of an opportunistic lunge, I think. We watched that one again. Yeah, I think he's probably just come from a little bit too far back. Hasn't kept himself on the apex. And will tip the other guy into a spin there. He's actually going to cost himself more time, though. So really not ideal. Another one making his way. Oh, trying to put the power down. That seems absolutely fine to me. Is this guy, we just going to get a lot of this guy having connection issues? Nope. There we go. In through the gravel. With a little bit of an error there as well then. And in the gravel again. And in the wall. So it's not reassuring when I'm having a look through the incident report and it's just one guy over and over and over there. Again, though, people seemingly able to get back on it. What's going on between these two? I have no idea what's going on there. Is the race over at this point? That is... There's like a few people just here trolling, apparently. I've never seen this before in my life. There's like 4 cars that have just kind of having a picnic or something. He's just doing the world's longest burnout. And donut, and donut. Oh, there we go. I think that was after the finish then, so that makes a little bit more sense. The one I want to have a look at then is the incident we had late on in the day with Paul, because for some reason we haven't got to see that one. So it was the lap, obviously, he overtook me. So I believe it was, here we go. So this time round then, I just want to see it from his POV, just to kind of see whether I moved across on him, whether he kind of pinched me, or whether we kind of met in the middle. So we come out of the corner. I try and get the throttle down. I think, honestly, we've been a bit unlucky with netcode there as well. I'm not going to blame him for that one entirely, because I think, yeah, it was just kind of... I drifted slightly left trying to catch the car. And, yeah, I think, you know, he's held himself completely straight, hasn't he? I think that was all on me, to be honest there. Only a tiny bit of contact, and luckily, again, we were both able to kind of survive it. But, I mean, yeah, he's moving right when the contact's made. That was on me. Fair play to him. Absolutely deserved to keep the place. Let's go take a look at our final race results. Well, there we go then. We did lose just a tiny bit of SR at the end of that one, but luckily I've got a couple of big races coming up where hopefully our SR will go back in the right direction. Minus 16 iRacing. I don't think I can be too gutted with that. I don't think we sensibly had the pace to go any higher up the order than I finished with as well there. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Make sure you get yourself subscribed if you're new around here. I'm definitely going to have to try and compete more in this series. Was I the top non-Australian? Yes, simply because I was the only non-Australian in the split there. What were the top times in top split then? 4.2k SOF. That's pretty impressive. 26.8, 26.6 there. So some really rapid times by some guys with a lot of iRating. But yeah, that's going to do us for this one though. And we'll be back very soon with more iRacing content.